Hello, and something totally different again. If you see my other channel, my little gardening channel, you might know that I'm just about, I've been campaigning for the last 15 years or so to get some allotments in our village, and never thinking I'd get anywhere, or it's not down to me, I have to say, but I have been, one of the people that kept asking our parish council for an allotment. I used to have an allotment 5 or 6 miles away, and trying to work then and do a lot. Well, I had 3 allotments on that site, and the travelling, or even just 5-6 miles away, it's too far. When you have to go and water things, and you get a bit fed up with it. So at last we've got some allotments being set up in our village, so I'm going to take one. And I'd got this old Merry Tiller. Backstory behind this, you can see it's all in bits at the moment, but I'll come on to that in a minute. I ended up helping run the old allotments where I was, on the outskirts of Northampton, and this was our old allotment association rotavator, or tiller, cultivator. It's not really a rotavator, it's a cultivator. And it basically, as you'll see under the seat there's a little 3 horsepower Briggs and Stratton, or Scrapham, as one YouTuber calls them, Briggs and Scrapham, but it is really a Stratton. And what happened was, I think the thing got misused. It was never really maintained very well, and the engine has major problems. I think the rings have disintegrated. It absolutely, it'll still run amazingly. I've got to take my hat off to Briggs and Stratton. I mean, there's not a lot that will stop them, but it's burning oil. It's got an awful clunking noise as well, so there's probably something wrong with the crankshaft. More on that later. What am I going to do for an engine? Well, more on that later on. I'm not obviously going to throw that away. It might make a little project, at some point, see if I can restore the engine and, then reuse it with the tiller or cultivator eventually, but that is no good at the moment. Anyway, so I've had these parts all dismantled in my shed. When our allotment association threw it out, they asked me, I used to come past a public waste disposal tip on my way home, and they said, "Oh, can you?" And I said, "Well, you're not going to throw it away." "Well, yeah. What if you want it, you take it. Whatever you do with it, we don't mind. We're going to buy a new little rotavator for the association," which they did. So I brought this home to fit it in my mower shed. I took it all to bits, which was a bit silly without taking any pictures. And it's laid there for the last 15 years, or certainly between 13 and 15 years, can't be exactly precise. So now I thought, good time to get it going again. And all I've done is give it a quick rub down, degreased it all, because it was absolutely black like that engine over there. It was the same, it looked the same as that, and just got some very cheap spray paints and give it a quick spray paint. This is not a restoration, this is just see if we can get it going, see if it will work again, and press it into service to do a little bit of cultivating. So this is by no means one of those restoration videos where they polish everything up to death. This is just to tidy up, as Derek Mathewson might say if you watch Bangers and Cash, hoping it'll look good 10 foot away. If you stand, it's a 10 footer, don't get too close to it. But obviously now I've got to rebuild it, and all I've got is I've managed on eBay to find the proper year. This, by the way, it's a 1969 year cultivator. I bought some spare parts for it, and I quoted the serial number, and as you can see, this is not the most detailed explanation. It's quite small to see the nuts and bolts, but hopefully we can get it back. I can get it back together. And I just thought I'd do a little video. I'm not going to show you the whole thing of me trying to put this, because I think I'm going to be here some time, you know, looking over some parts. But I'll, you know, bring you in and catch up with you and show you how it's going. And I did buy some, as I was just saying, I bought one or two new parts for it. I have put new oil seals. This part is, you put a pint of SAE 30 in here. This is a chain drive, you know, picks up from the belt and takes it down to the bottom here where the tines are, the cultivator tines or rotors. And I put new oil seals in there, which was a devil of a job. Not so much fitting the new ones, but getting the old ones out. But worth doing, because it used to leak oil when it was standing up in my shed like this. Very dirty, I have to say, but and it has leaked some oil out over the years it's been there. So I put new oil seals in both sides. I think somewhere, I mean, you can see when you take these out how mangled the old ones. There's no easy way. I don't think they've ever been changed. So I mean, they've been in there 50, you know, since 1969. So so yeah, that's the plan. And I will sort of start assembling it. As you can see, I've got all the bits here, hopefully, and it's all just had a quick rough paint. It's had a primer, a rust primer, and then some quick red paint, which is meant to be roughly the right colour for a Merry Tiller. I think is it Massey Ferguson red or something like that. Yeah, I'll cut back and in and show you when I've, you know, achieved something and started getting it assembled, and I'll, you know, tell you what I found, and we'll perhaps have a bit of a closer look when we come to start putting things like the clutch assembly for the belt and that kind of thing. So I've had a bit of a break, and I'm slowly piecing it back together now, and I thought I'd give you a quick look. I'm getting the handlebars sorted, and it's, you know, just finding the right nuts. I've got nothing tightened up yet. Finding the right nuts for the right location, and nuts and bolts rather, and I think I'm about cracked it. I've got this clutch assembly which pulls the belt up, and obviously that then turns the engages the rotor blades. And thing about this is, if you're doing one of these and you ever take it off, you need to put this back on. This bar here threads onto this bolt there, and it's then held in with the spring, and in that fashion then the clutch cable goes onto that little hook there. We'll look at that later on when I get it fitted. But if you do ever take this off and unthread it from this bolt, you can only do it with the flywheel out the way, and of course I put the flywheel on first, so I had to take the flywheel off again. But I've got it all bolted. I've got the two engine bearers there bolted on nicely to the actual gearbox and where the rotor shaft is. I've got the wheels temporary on to sort of hold it all in place. I'm missing a depth. This is the depth drag, or, you know, and you can either have that lower or higher, whichever it needs. It should have another one of these clips. I shall have to get one of these clips and put in there. So yeah, I'm just sort of sorting out, getting the right bolts and nuts for the right location, and it's going together quite well, really. So unfortunately, during this video, I had a huge computer failure, and the middle bit of my video footage is missing. So I thought I'd still show you what I've done here with the Merry Tiller. I've got it all back together now, and I'll just quickly run through. I mean, there's parts, obviously the early parts of the video I have still, where I'm building up the pieces, just as a and just as a recap, this had laid in a shed for 20 odd years and was given to me free by my former allotment society, because the Briggs Stratton engine had basically blown up in it, or was burning huge amounts of oil, more oil than it was petrol, I think. Anyway, if you're looking to buy one of these and thinking about re-engining, you know, putting a new engine in, I bought, this is a Pollor, Polar, or however you want to pronounce it. It's one of these Chinese clone Honda engines bought from eBay. It's a 6.5 horsepower. We'll move around a little bit and I'll show you. I think it says on it, there we go. I bought that for £78. I'd got a £10 voucher that eBay, for some unknown reason, gave me £10 off, and so it came down to £78. So very, very reasonable. You know, I don't think I'd have been able to have rebuilt the Briggs and Stratton engine for that price. Looking at trying to find old stock parts, they can be very expensive. I still might do that at some point in the proceedings to keep it all original. But now, if you are buying a Merry Tiller, a Wolseley Major Merry Tiller, this one is 1969 era, 69-70. The one thing about these Honda clone engines you can buy off Amazon, on eBay and various other places, they do fit the existing holes where the Briggs Stratton engine went on, so you'll be fine. You don't have to drill new holes, and it fits fine and it seems okay in that respect. The one thing to bear in mind is these have a 20mm shaft coming out. Here you can see the pulley and the shaft, and the old Briggs and Stratton engine has a 3/4 pulley. So do check that if you can find one of these. I didn't think about that, but I found a new 20mm pulley to fit my 20mm shaft. But you might find one of these engines with a 3/4 shaft to fit your existing pulley, if that all makes sense to you, you know. That's the only thing you've got to really be aware of. But it seems okay. I haven't really tried this as yet. The engine runs. I'm not going to start it up today because it's about to rain and it's quite noisy here, and I intend to make a video of it on my rotavating my new allotment at some point in the proceedings. But I'm really pleased with it. Very easy to do, to buy one of these engines. Obviously I've totally, you know, tried to have a bit of a refurb on this, and I painted it and put new oil seals down the bottom here, as I've said before, and it's had a new drive belt. I've cleaned it all up, and I'm really pleased with how it's come out. Mine was missing this guard for the belt, and I found, well, a guy kindly, where I bought some spares from, he'd got an old rusted guard, and he said, would I like it? I just paid the postage on it. So I've painted, you know, sanded all that down to bare metal and repainted it. It's still a bit sort of mottled on the top, but we're not worried about that. I bought a new decal for it, keep it nice in the keeping. So as I say, it works really well. Mine has got the extra set of tines as well there, so you can have two on each side. But as I say, really the thing to watch out for is the pulley size if you are replacing your engine, and as I say, but I'm delighted that after spending, as I spent 20 years in an old shed, all in bits, and I've got it out, cleaned it all up. It's been spray painted with red hammerite paint. This is the right colour, I believe, or near enough. I think it should be Massey Ferguson red, Wolseley Tiller used, or that kind of red. It had been painted at various times black and all sorts of colours before, and but there we go. So that is the Tiller Merry Tiller all done and sorted, and as I say, there will be a video of it coming out, trying it on some dug up ground on my allotment where I've sort of turned it over. Obviously this is a cultivator. It's not going to break new ground. This isn't. Your ground wants to be dug over, and obviously then you can cultivate the ground and break it up. That's what these are really designed for. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's come out, and the engine, as I say, sits on there well. The bolt holes all match up fine. I've been told that, say, this is a 69 model. So there we go. Just to prove it does actually run, I've just given it a quick start up. I think the clutch could do a little bit more adjusting, to be honest. It wants to, run round on its own, even on, tick over kind of thing, but these rotavators often do. I mean, all you're doing with the clutch is pulling the drive belt up and making it tighter, basically. So it's a very primitive clutch system, and obviously when you're on the soil, when you've got the rotavator and the cultivator tines on the soil, it wouldn't, do that so much. It wouldn't, the soil would kind of stall it more in those low revs until you open the throttle up a little bit. You can put a throttle on this and put a throttle on the handle where it used to. I have got one, but to be honest, I think to transport it to my allotment, I'm perhaps going to have to take the handles off. So, and the few times I'm going to use it, probably, it's going to be more faff, because obviously that the clutch you can just unclip that. It's only clipped on there, so it's dead easy, and the handles can come off in one section, basically, with the spanner, dead easy. But obviously then you've got a throttle cable to get in the way, so really you've got a lever here to operate the throttle, so it's just as quick to do that. So yeah, I'm really delighted with how that's turned out. As I say, hopefully if you want to see it in action, I shall be putting a video on my garden channel, which is the link below, and if you want to see, or if you just want to see progress on my allotment, and what a rubbishy bit of ground I've taken on, and what I'm trying to do, battle with it all. But as always, thank you for watching, and as I say, if you want to buy a Merry Tiller and put one of these Honda clone engines on, it's very easy to do that, and we'll see in time how it goes. And as always, thanks for watching. Until the next video, do take care, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Until then, my best wishes and bye for now.